very humid all day, but in your first alert forecast, we can keep rain and storms isolated for today. So continue to see them develop and move east, lots of clouds and some fog, and feeling that muggy air. Basically, that humidity can create a downpour or storm at times. Winds are a little bit lighter today, still 5 to 10 miles per hour. But that means it kind of helps to keep things from being stirred up as much. We'll end up with some cloud breaks during the afternoon, notice early evening, and an isolated downpour and storm bubbling up along the plateau edge of the valley. Later tonight, we'll have a few storms trying to move in, more still on the way for your Saturday. So that's really kind of that main focal point there in terms of storm chances going into tomorrow. So today's rain and storms adding up to a good streak of 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. It's just overall isolated coverage when it comes down to it. You got more opportunities to be outdoors today, but you got to still stay hydrated. Lots of clouds. Again, the isolated storms this morning only able to cool to about 74 is the best we can do. It puts us at 83 at noon. Good breeze out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour today, not as breezy. Isolated rain and storms, 20% coverage through the afternoon with a few more cloud breaks. Standing out in that sun, it'll absolutely feel hotter. In the shade with the humidity, that high of 89 degrees, can feel like those mid to upper 90s. So again, that's in the shade. The sunshine's a whole nother factor there. Heat index is based on the humidity alone. That puts you at 96 Knoxville for a feels like temperature this afternoon, 97 Madisonville, 98 Kingston. I was outside yesterday. I can vouch for these feels like temperatures. It's gross. 90s what it feels like today. Crossville, 93 Robbins and La Follette and Williamsburg, feeling like 92 Tazewell and Rutledge today. Stay hydrated. Use caution here. That can really drain you quick. 94 Pigeon Forge. Again, we start off with isolated rain and storms tomorrow morning. The key here, though, is more scattered batches start to move in. So by 10 to 11 a.m., notice we get a few more storms starting to develop here along the plateau, the South Valley, along the mountains. There's a little string of some rain and storms midday coming off the plateau into the valley. So very broken up batches coming in. But that's where we go from about 40% coverage of our area, spotty rain and storms afternoon, and then flaring up to a good batch of storms in the evening. Notice kind of develops right along that plateau into the valley, moving up into the mountains tomorrow night. So with that rainfall potential, you can see some of those streaks there then still adding up to that 1/2 inch to an inch even in these little blue streaks there, very isolated higher amounts. But it is that broken batch. That means we don't all get the same amount of rain for your Saturday, but we do all feel the humidity. Temperatures just getting knocked around there. So it's only 74 in the morning, still a warm one, low to mid 80s, midday to early afternoon. And then as those storms are developing, holding us to around 86, but it'll feel like it's in those 90s still. Then at least the rain coverage backs off. Spotty on Saturday. Humidity still up enough. It'll still feel several degrees warmer going into early next week. It's the middle of next week that the weather starts becoming a little more active. Looking at a spotty to scattered transition on Wednesday, a few more at times Wednesday night into Thursday, and then again Thursday night next week.